Lacrosse game between the College of Wooster Fighting Scots and your Illinois Wesleyan Titans. At this time, we would like to welcome 2024 Illinois Wesleyan graduate and Titan lacrosse standout Brittany Maldonado back to the field. Capping off an illustrious senior season, Maldonado was crowned the 2024 NCAA statistical champion for assists per game. Her average of 4.53 led Division III and was second across all NCAA divisions. The award caps off one of the most impressive seasons by a Titan and finalizes an incredible career for Maldonado. A first-team All-CCIW selection, Maldonado broke the program's single-season assists per game mark, as well as setting the program's single-season points per game, and assist records. Her 77 assists tied for the most recorded nationally last season with Julia Kelly from Roger Williams University. A five-time CCIW Offensive Player of the Week, Maldonado finished her career ranked third all-time in points with 229 and posted the program's best point per game mark, averaging 3.57 points per game. Her 124 assists ranked second all-time, while her career average of 2.03 helpers per game is the best average in a career by a Titan. Please give a round of applause for Brittany Maldonado.
The NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Thank you for your assistance in providing a positive atmosphere. This weekend marks the 4th annual Play for St. Jude weekend at Illinois Wesleyan. Titan Athletics has a long history of supporting the St. Jude Research Hospital, and today, our student athletes are playing for those who have fought or are currently fighting childhood cancer. St. Jude is an incredible organization that allows families to never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food. Please consider showing your support for St. Jude today by participating in our 50-50 raffle by purchasing an IW Titan St. Jude t-shirt. All proceeds will go directly to St. Jude Research Hospital. Together, we can fight childhood cancer. Let's meet today's starters. First for the Fighting Scots. Number 3, Ashlyn Casey. Number 7, Bella Woodbury. Number 10, Lizzie Hardy. Number 11, Audrey Richardson. Number 14, Caitlin McBride. Number 17, Madeline Knoll. Number 19, Bryn Sagoski. Number 21, Kenzie Morris. Number 22, Lexi Sarn. Number 24, Sydney O'Rourke. Number 30, Bella McCluskey. Number 31, Sophia Mellis. Now, the starters for your Illinois Wesleyan Titans. Number 1, Bree Style. Number 3, Maddie Gibson. Number 8, McKenna McVie. Number 9, Annalise DiGiovanni. Number 13, Carly Fountain. Number 14, Sarah Reapy. Number 15, Sadie Newton. Number 16, Priscilla Tucker. Number 17, Mia Fiandaka. Number 18, Avery Setzler. Number 21, Lizzie Rummersek. Number 24, Mallory Mills. Please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
For just the second time in history, the College of Wooster Scots take on the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan from Tucci Stadium in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm Matt Sossler. Wooster is on one of their best starts to the season, a record of 8-1, including a perfect 4-0 away from Wooster. Illinois Wesleyan, on the other hand, an even 500, 5-5, most recently losing to DePaul on March the 26th, 18-3. Worcester is coming off of a victory against Otterbein. For the Titans, it's their first home contest since March 6th. They've taken a long road trip throughout spring break. And for the green and white, they close that stay away from home with a record of 2-3, wins against Augsburg and Wisconsin Stevens Point, losses to DePaul, Calvin, and McDaniel. For Illinois Wesleyan, this is one of their final tune-ups before CCIW play, a conference that one could say is fairly wide open with the departure of the University of Chicago. So a chance for schools like Illinois Wesleyan to come in and make a difference to try and get back to the NCAA tournament, something that the green and white have not done since 2021. As for the Scots, they are also hoping to get back into the NCAA tournament by notching a non-conference win. However, for the Scots, it's all about NCAC play. You look at what they were able to do last year. They finished 11-4 overall. 3 of those 4 losses came within league play. First leg of a lacrosse doubleheader at Tucci Stadium. The women start against Wooster, and then the men follow right after, taking on Adrian. Kenzie Morris for the draw against Sadie Newton for Illinois Wesleyan, and we're underway at Tucci Stadium. Controlled by the Scots. And Kenzie Morris, the Chardon, Ohio native. Quick shot, saved by Ramirez. Second chance, finds the twine. Sophia Mellis with the rebound, and Wooster, just 14 seconds in, strikes first.
Goal by number 31, Sophie Mellis.
So just like that, we're already on our second draw control of the game. For Mellis, that's her 11th goal of the season in her 10th game of action. Second draw controlled once again by the visitors. Lizzie Hardy, an all-conference selectee from a year ago. Wooster, despite their third place finish in the NCAC, had 6 all-league selectees, returning 5 of those 6. So definitely a group that's out on a revenge tour as they head closer to conference play. A little bit slower of a setup for the Scots this time around. Last time, it was 2 quick shots resulting in a goal. Illinois Wesleyan defensively has shown that they can play both styles. They've seen both a quick hitting offense from Wisconsin Lacrosse, and they also saw a more slower, methodical offense from Lake Forest College. So they're able to play against both. Wide open driving lane save by Ramirsek on the shot from Caitlin McBride out of Westerville, Ohio. Her second save of the day. So safe to say she has her work cut out for her. Fiandaka contacted 30 yards out. So it stays with Illinois Wesleyan. Fiandaka back in the lineup for the first time since before spring break. Fiandaka, 15 goals for Illinois Wesleyan So a much needed addition for the Titans heading into one of their toughest non-conference battles of the year. Titans on the woman up as Morris takes a seat. If Illinois Wesleyan can execute here, it would be critical. However, they give it right away. Two minutes expired, and nearly 90% of the infant stages of this contest have been played on the Wooster attacking end. Playing shorthanded with Morris still serving her penalty on the doorstep. Mellis has her second of the day.
Goal by number 31, Sophie Miles.
Take a look at 2023's contest in Wooster, Ohio. It was a 26-7 Wooster victory over the Titans. Nearly 2 years to the date. It was on March the 25th of 2023. Much different look for Illinois Wesleyan in this contest compared to 2 years ago, including a new head coach, first-year head coach Abby Kashina for Illinois Wesleyan, opposed by Elizabeth Ford for the Scots. Ford has been at the helm of Wooster since 2006. So a coaching veteran against someone in her first year of experience. Scots up 2-0 and quickly again on the offensive end. And it's another lamplighter, a hat trick for Mellis within just 2.5 minutes. Going deeper into that box score from the last time that these teams played, for Illinois Wesleyan, I talked about getting Mia Fiandaca back. She had a hat trick. Same with Brittany Maldonado, who was honored pregame for being the NCAA statistical champion in assists per game. We'll talk to her at halftime about her career at Illinois Wesleyan and what it's like being back at Tucci Stadium. Titans down 3-0, and yet again, it's Wooster on the draw control. Mellis, who has all 3 goals, coughs it up. On the doorstep, shot and a goal.
Goal by number 17, Madeline Knoll.
Madeline Knoll's 7th of the year. And Wooster continues to dominate, averaging a goal per 45 seconds. So one might have to think, when does Coach Kushina burn a timeout to try and get her team back in order? And going back to Sophia Mellis, she has already matched her season high in goals. She had a hat trick against Albright on March the 19th. It was a 17-3 win for the Scots. Again, the Scots with only one loss this year. It was 14-8 against Rockhurst on March the 12th. And not only have they won the rest of their games, but the vast majority of them have been in pretty decisive fashion. Only one of their wins has come by 3 goals or less. Safe to say they've showcased that narrative very well in the early going. Seems they get out ahead early on opponents. Speaking of that, another lamplighter, this time from Bryn Sagnuski.
Goal by number 19, Bryn Snaguski.
Snaguski's 23rd for the all-conference selectee. Wooster up 5-0. Less than 5 minutes expired. As expected, a lot of the stats, should I say all of them, favor Wooster. There's honestly not a lot on the board as of this point. A lot of crooked numbers on the left side of the score sheet for Wooster and a lot of zeros on the right side for Illinois Wesleyan. Fountain with the near interception. Still controlled by Ashling Casey. Around the perimeter. Mellis goes for a season high, gets run off the GLE. Slow and controlled on the rail. Upper 90 twine tickler from Bella Woodbury.
Goal by number 7, Bella Woodbury.
Her 20th of the year. 6-0 Scots. It's been a fairly easy day of work. Taking a look at our goalies for Audrey Richardson, starting netminder for Wooster. 9 games, 9 starts. Goals against average of 8.54. Save percentage of 41.9 on the other side for the Titans. It's been a bit of a tougher go for Lizzie Rymirsuk. 10 games, 11-2-4 goals against average, and in a bit of trouble here with Wooster leading 6-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds on IWSports.com. Back at Tucci Stadium, it's been all Wooster over the first 4.5 minutes, leading 6-0 over Illinois Wesleyan. I'm Matt Sossler. The Titans and the Scots in some of their final tune-ups before entering conference play, which especially in the sport of lacrosse is pivotal, considering the limited amount of bids in the Division III tournament. If your conference is not one of the elites, for example, the Liberty League, the NESCAC, some of the East Coast powerhouses, you pretty much have to win your conference and get the AQ in order to make the national tournament. You look at Wooster last year, finishing 11-4 overall. Sometimes that number is good enough to get into NCAAs. However, when you go 3-3 in your conference and finish third, that'll make the committee turn their heads. So being sure that you're in the best possible condition for conference play to run that table, no matter what your record is, heading into league is the most important. Titans out of the timeout win their first draw of the day. Mentioned that Audrey Richardson, the starting goalie for the Scots, has had a fairly quiet afternoon. and continues to do so. First time that Wooster has to go all 100 yards. As Lexi Sarn tight ropes it into the attacking third. Whistle blows. Looks like it's a hold against Illinois Wesleyan, so this warrants a free position shot for Lizzie Hardy. First free position opportunity on either side today. From 45 degrees out, Hardy with the stop and forces the Scots to reset. There's usually two methods of execution on a free position. That wasn't either of them, and you can attribute that to the strong defense by Illinois Wesleyan. Usually on a free position, you're going to see a straight drive, whether it's a straight line or a bit of a C-turn, little less than 90 degrees to the cage. The other option is the Scots get on the doorstep, contact down low. That goes against the Scots. The other method is passing it from the free position and setting up your offense from there. Turned over by Illinois Wesleyan. Pass deflected. Otherwise, Bella Woodbury would have had a wide open snipe from 2 feet out. Another free position look for Wooster. This time from the other side, and now we see the pass out given the lanes were clogged. Mellis right in front. Contact was made there on Wooster, so the Titans with a defensive stop. Looking to get some sort of offense going when you're trailing not only 6-0, but trailing 6-0 this early in the game. The first step to good offense is stout defense. Try and get those transition opportunities. And now for the first time, Illinois Wesleyan can really settle into their system in the attacking end. Fiandaka, expect her to drive. Draws a double team taken away, and now Wooster, if they hurry, will have numbers in the attacking third. Ashlyn Casey right down the right hash, coast to coast, saved by Ramirsic. Setzler over the middle to Fiandaka. Near even strength on the defensive end for Wooster. Halfway through the first quarter, Scots raced out to a 6-0 lead in the first 4.5 minutes. However, following the Titan timeout at about the 10-minute mark, the Scots haven't really been able to muster up anything offensively, and in turn, Illinois Wesleyan has spent a lot more time in the attacking half. Cassie Driscoll. Inside, Morris. On the doorstep, high stick. Gobbled up by Ramirsic, but not until after contact on Illinois Wesleyan. So that'll give Wooster their third free position shot of the day. They're 0 for 2 on free position opportunities. Looking at the Titans' free position defense, opponents are 16 of 42 entering today. That's about 38%. This one from straight on, a bouncer, sails wide. Priya Naharia with the missed look. Stays with the Scots after they tagged up. Still in system, Illinois Wesleyan doing a good job at sealing the circle. You see how they're aligned in a perfect arch, forcing Wooster to unconventional dodges. Talk more about that as you see it here. You see how the defense is positioned. It's taken away by the Titans. The main goal, especially in the women's game, is to not allow a direct lane. There's one for Hardy, and she puts it through.
Goal by Rowan Pylon.
Check that. They'll give that to Rowan Pylon. But as I was saying, if you're able to get straight on and square up with the offensive player, then you're forcing a dodge left or right when the offensive player is not going downhill, has no momentum. That is a very hard play for them to make. They need to be quick with their feet, and they need to be able to get inside fast. However, if you're playing on half a player, whether you're shielding them on the interior or the exterior and forcing him to the outside of the rail, for those of you not familiar, the rail would be if you drew two invisible lines from the posts out towards midfield, then you're creating a tougher angle, but you're also making it easier for the offensive player to get by you. So Wooster breaks up a 5-minute scoring drought, up 7-0. Titans still trying to get on the board for the first time today. Fiendaka, similar to what I was talking about on the other end. See Cassidy Driscoll shading her and forcing her towards the outside from a 45-degree angle. Fountain forced below the GLE. On the doorstep, Setzler, wide left. On the doorstep, Fiendaka had it knocked away. Golden chance for the Titans. One minute to shoot for Illinois Wesleyan. Around the perimeter. Stays with the Titans for the moment. Given right back to Wooster. Those of you just joining us, Wooster raced out to a 6-0 advantage within the first 4.5 minutes. The Titans called a timeout, and since then, Wooster has only mustered up one tally. Crossfield, Lizzie Hardy snatches the ground ball. Inside, a solid snag by Bella Woodbury, keeping this possession alive. Working side to side. Woodbury on the interior, shot and a goal for Lizzie Hardy.
Goal by number 10.
Her 19th of the year. Wooster up 8-0. Taking a look at some numbers with just 2:16 left in the first. Mellis scored the first 3 goals for Wooster. Hardy now has a brace with 2. Woodbury, Knoll. And then lastly, Snaguski has 1. Knoll with 1 goal and 3 assists. On the other side, Illinois Wesleyan has yet to register a shot on cage. Whistle and the Titans get possession back. And if you're Illinois Wesleyan, you're in a bit of an interesting predicament. Still a lot of lacrosse left, but ideally you'd like to at least get on the board before this quarter expires, get some momentum heading into the second. A chance to refocus and reset. However, it's now the Scots with a chance to get their lead to 9, saved by Ramirsic. And the shot from Jacobs. "90 seconds till the end of the quarter. 2-on-2 if Illinois Wesleyan hurries. Gibson traverses below the GLE. Ten-second difference between shot and game clock. On the C-turn, Gibson. And the Titans get a free position look. This is probably the most critical free position look that they've had over their last few games when you think about momentum. Gibson shot and a goal.
Goal by number 3, Ryder Gibson.
Her 9th of the season. And the Titans' 13th free position goal of the year. And they're on the board trailing 8-1. Let's see how the Titans can ride that over the last 56 seconds of the first. The last thing you want if you're the Titans is to allow Wooster to march down and get an easy goal that would erase that. Almost there. Contact. We'll see where Woodbury was standing at the point of contact. They'll give her the benefit of the interior, so it's a free position shot from straight on. Straight drive, a bouncer save by Ramirsic. Second chance, finds the back of the net.
Goal by number 21.
Kenzie Morris, the team's leader in points, with her first lamplighter of the day. And an absolute backbreaker for Illinois Wesleyan, working so hard to get on the board and try and wrestle some of that momentum back. Wooster marches down, and 25 seconds later, they erase what was taken from them. Draw control scooped up. Reapy inside on the doorstep. Shot just wide. From Gibson. Had it right on the doorstep. Had too much momentum to the left. And now a chance with 10 seconds. Viandaka 5 feet over. Out of bounds. And that is how the first quarter ends. Almost entirely all Wooster, leading 9-1 as we head to the second from Bloomington on IW Sports.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false? On average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois?
Start of the second quarter in Bloomington. Wooster with a 9-1 lead over Illinois Wesleyan. I'm Matt Sossler. Illinois Wesleyan trying to get above 5. They exit the month of March, a record of 5-5 for the green and white. Wooster off to one of their best starts in program history, a record of 8-1. They're in the driver's seat to a 9-1 campaign as they play their final few games of March. They'll take on Lake Forest tomorrow in a bit of an Illinois twin bill. So given that, we'll have to see if the tenor of this game continues how it was in the opening quarter, how Coach Ford manages her rotation in the second half, knowing that they got to play another one tomorrow. As for Illinois Wesleyan, I'm sure Coach Kushina is going to keep things exactly how they are. Given that the Titans have some time after this one before they go into CCIW play, we flip ends. Wooster wins the opening draw of the second. They scored their first goal of the game with 14 seconds expired. Trying to duplicate that as close as they can here in the second, and also get on the verge of a running clock. Time into playing back-to-backs, that would certainly do a lot for Wooster. Bouncer right over the stick of Ramirsek, and Morris has her second goal of the day.
Goal by number 21, Kenzie Morris.
Morris, the three-time NCAC honoree, also recently became a member of the 200-200 club, 200 points, 200 draw controls, which is very exclusive. You think about how hard that is to do. Usually you see players that are strong at draw controls, and that might be their only specialty. You don't see a ton of action on the offensive side from them. But the fact that Morris is able to muster up 200 in each shows the complete player that she is. Scott's up 10-1. They score their first goal of the second 40 seconds into the period. Stay tuned for halftime. We'll be joined by Brittany Maldonado. Talk about her career at Illinois Wesleyan. Recognized today for her accomplishments wearing the green and white. Fiandaka, sidewinder save by Audrey Richardson. That's her first save of the day. Only the second shot on goal for Illinois Wesleyan, and by extent, the first shot on goal that was not from a free position opportunity. For the first time today, trying to turn some defense into offense on the doorstep, Madeline Knoll sails it high. On the no angle, shot and a twine twickler.
Goal by number 20, Rowan Pylon.
For Rowan Pylon. So that induces a running clock with Wooster leading by 10 goals. The clock will run for the rest of the game unless there is a significant stoppage that would warrant an extended delay, or if Illinois Wesleyan slices the deficit to single digits. So I talked about how big this could be for Wooster playing back-to-back. You look at situations like this when they can take their time following a goal, heading back to midfield for a draw control, or if a ball goes out of bounds, they can work the clock a little bit. It won't stop on them. Morris with plenty of green grass. Forced off her mark, spinning while falling. Hit off the stick of Ramirsek, who's had a very busy day. Wooster now with 17 shots on goal. Illinois Wesleyan with just a pair. In and out of the webbing of Madeline Knoll. So now you start to ask yourself, if you're Illinois Wesleyan, what's the plan of attack getting back in? Is it picked off by Pylon? Forced off, finds the open player, shot. Ramirez got a piece of it. Jacobs had a wide open lane to the cage. Forced to the exterior. Woodbury. Jacobs on the interior, stopped by Ramirsik. She hangs on. Stretch pass to Hale, bounces all around. Gibson has the first crack at it. However, it's the Scots coming away with the ground ball. We haven't seen too many of those where both teams have an even crack at it. Wooster, in terms of ground balls, outgaining the Titans 18-9. On the doorstep, shot and a goal for Cassidy Driscoll. There's a Titan down behind the play.
Goal by number 5, Cassidy Driscoll.
So it's 12-1 in favor of Wooster. Sophie Shore, the injured Titan. Bree Style enters in her place. Now it looks like the Titans will play some musical chairs from a lineup perspective. Sarah Reapy switching to more of a midi, more of a defensive midi position. Check that offensive midi, more of an attack position, given that we flip sides. Caitlin McBride. Too much on the pass. Style was the closest, so the Titans regain control. Pressure from the Scots. Fiandaka, 2 feet out, puts it through. Her 16th of the season.
Goal by number 17, Mia Fiandaka.
So the Titans slice it back to 10. Again, they need one more to make it 9 and therefore stop the running clock. First of 2 lacrosse contests at Tucci Stadium today. The Titan men will take the field against Adrian at 2. With a lot on the line for the green and white in that contest. Tucci Stadium has been very kind to them. I'll dive deeper into that when they take the field in a couple of hours. Inside, Gibson with a goal, her second. And the Titans have scored 2 unanswered. That'll put a stop on the running clock for now. So Illinois Wesleyan has started to find a little bit of a groove offensively over the last few minutes. And now you start to wonder, when does Coach Elizabeth Ford for Wooster bring her team together to try and right the ship? They still have some breathing room, and they've shown that they can quickly retake control of a game with the snap of a finger, scoring 6 goals in less than 4 minutes to start this contest off. But we talk a lot about the momentum pendulum, and right now it's almost entirely in favor of Illinois Wesleyan, especially if they can get possession off the draw. And they do. for now. Officials have conflicting opinions, and it looks like Wooster gets it off the violation. Morris shot hits off the iron. Stays with Wooster. Pass intercepted by McBride. 2-on-1. McBride puts on the brakes, drops it down, shot. Ramirez steered wide. Second go for the Scots. Morris had a shooting lane from 10 yards out. Spin for McBride. Contact before the shot. It's a yellow against McBride. So now the Titans with a woman up opportunity. They'll have to go the length of the field. So the task is not extremely tall for Wooster to defend this. Ramirez, 30-yard outlet, scooped up by Fiandaca. Hale's inlet pass deflected, taken by Morris, tried to wheeze through. Sometimes there, they'll give the offensive player the advantage. Did not that time around, and now Morris got hit upstairs. Both teams short-handed. Fiandaca with a yellow card. So a little bit of extra real estate on the field for the next few seconds. Shot goes wide. From Priya Naharia. Sophie Shore jogging over towards the sideline. Good to see her back. Gibson trying to go for the hat trick, walled off. hard contact near midfield. Now we wait to see if there's anything that comes away from that. Sarah Reapy is heading off. We'll see if she takes a knee, and indeed, she will. So now 2 Titans in the box. Prime chance for Wooster. And they get a free position. Cassidy Driscoll impeded with in the shooting area. So free position look from straight on to bring this back to a running clock. With 2.5 minutes until halftime, shot and a goal from the California native.
Goal by number 5, Cassidy Driscoll.
Her 6th of the year. Draw taken by Fiandaka. An area that Wooster has been dominant in. Titans with an opportunity to get a quick answer. Setzler. Fiandaka tried to spin out of it. Hale forced 10 yards outside of the attacking zone. Newton with a shot, hit off the foot of Richardson. 50 seconds until half. Shot clock a non-issue. Fiandaka went in and out of her stick. So now Wooster with a chance to go into the locker room up 11 with 30 seconds. Again, we'll be joined by Brittany Maldonado at half. Talk about her career as a Titan, becoming the statistical champion in assists per game. It looks like the Titans will just hang on to it. No need to force anything with 5 seconds left. That'll do it for the first half. Wooster with a 10-goal advantage as we head to the intermission, up 13-3 on IWSports.com.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false? On average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois? If you guessed number 1, you got it. And what's even better, IWU is the number 1 college in Illinois for getting a job and number 7 in the nation.
Last question, how much does it cost to apply to Illinois Wesleyan? If you said nothing, well, you're right. There's absolutely no application fee. So what are you waiting for? Visit, apply, and see all the opportunities for success that await you at Illinois Wesleyan University.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Halftime at Tucci Stadium, Wooster up 13-3 over Illinois Wesleyan. I'm Matt Sossler, joined by Brittany Maldonado. Brittany today being recognized for being the statistical champion from last year in assists per game. Brittany, in terms of accolades, that's just one of many. Two-time all-conference selectee, and you've done a lot for this Titan program. What's it mean to be back here at Tucci today?
I was able to be a part of the huddle as well and give everyone a hug. I know it's their first home game in probably like a month or so, so I really wanted to come out here. We have a few other alum in the stands as well, so I just wanted to come show my support. We haven't played this team in a few years, and the girls were really happy to see me too.
How different is it being back here? You said you were in the huddle. Any nostalgia coming back, not being as a part of the current group, but still being a valuable part of this team?
Yeah, it was nice. They let me give a little bit of input before the game, and it's very weird being on this side of the stands, hearing the parents. Usually in the game when you're zoned in, you don't really get to hear them or honestly like even know what they're saying, but it's really fun, and like, I don't know, it feels like a whole family in the stands too. Everyone kind of like builds off each other, so it's a lot of fun being on this side.
You're back here at Tucci Stadium, where a field in which you pretty much made your own over the course of your Titan career. I read off some of your accolades earlier. It's not even half of them that I was able to rattle off. Reflect on your career as a Titan and what it meant to be as a part of this program.
I think to start, there was a lot of things different. Even getting here today, the scoreboards are different, the fields were different, coaches were different. So the program where it was 4 years ago is a lot different than where it is now, and it's definitely developed a lot. I think I learned a lot my freshman year from some of the senior class, probably one of the best senior classes we had go through here. And as the years went on, you know, you pick up skills, you pick up more friends and new teammates. And I think it's just awesome. The program just keeps developing and progressing, and we start getting recruits from all across the country. You know, it's not just the Midwest anymore, and it shows a lot more love to Midwest lacrosse, which I think is definitely missing. But I love this program. I love this place. I owe it all to this program and my coaches.
You talk about development of this program, still relatively young compared to a lot of college lacrosse programs around the country. How has this program developed in such a very quick time to become what it is right now?
Yeah, I think, well, one, Illinois Wesleyan in general being part of the CCIW conference is a huge conference, one of the biggest ones out here. There's a lot of different schools. And then when lacrosse first started, I know, like, Abby, because she, the current coach, was one of the people that first started that program about 9-10 years ago. Same with Grania Kelly. And, I think it just goes to show, like, we all love this program so much. They both came back to coach. They started as assistant coaches, head coaches. We all want to see this program keep going far, and like I said, showing more love to the Midwest. I think it helps grow the program, pulling people from different places, and then all the accolades, not just myself but my other teammates as well. That definitely helps give more attention to Illinois Wesleyan, which is awesome to see.
Talk about accolades, assists per game, being the statistical champion. Some people get recognized for goals, goalies get recognized for saves. Assists per game, in my opinion, is one of the most well-rounded stats that you can have, because it shows that you're not only prolific in terms of putting the ball behind the goalie into the net, but you're also a key distributor. What does being the best in the country from a year ago to do that mean to you?
I actually prefer the assists and the goals, kind of like you mentioned. I think it's teamwork, and that's what's really important to me. Like, obviously scoring goals is awesome and everything, but for me, dishing off those assists and having my team finish it, that honestly brought a lot more, like, happiness. I was way more proud of having that than any goals that I've ever had. And I tell my team this all the time, those accolades would not be possible without them, them being able to work hard, finishing the shots, and also just being there. Especially Mia Fiandaca, me and her the past 3 years had a really, really good relationship. She's someone that I looked for on the field and someone that if I was looking for somebody to get the job done, she was always there. So I owe, honestly, like a good 60, 70, 80% of those accolades to her.
Fiandaca today with 1 goal on 3 shots. This Titan team off to a little bit of a slow start against a really good Wooster squad. Before I let you go, Brittany, what are your keys to the second half for the Titans to try and fight back in this one?
Yeah, so, to start off, the refs are not really on our side. Not to say that they're picking sides, but they could definitely be a little bit more impartial about their calls. I think Mia is just her first game back after having a concussion for about a month, so she's trying to settle back in, and then it's hard for the team as well because she is a captain. She's a strong player on the field. I think right now the team knows, but they look really well when they work together, when they move that ball, they get those assists, and they do 2-3-man games. That's when they do the best. I told them before the game, just don't worry about the score, go out there, have fun, and work for each other.
We've seen some good stretches from this Titan team, like you mentioned, when they're playing together, when they're playing cohesive, when they're able to get settled in the attacking end. That's when they play their best lacrosse. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Maldonado, the NCAA statistical champion in assists per game. Brittany, thanks so much and welcome back.
Thank you. Go Titans.
Take a quick time out. The third quarter when we come back on IWSports.com.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false? On average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois? If you guessed number 1, you got it. And what's even better, IWU is the number 1 college in Illinois for getting a job and number 7 in the nation.
Last question, how much does it cost to apply to Illinois Wesleyan? If you said nothing, well, you're right. There's absolutely no application fee. So what are you waiting for? Visit, apply, and see all the opportunities for success that await you at Illinois Wesleyan University.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF.
Back at Tucci Stadium on a busy day around the campus of Illinois Wesleyan. The Titans down 10 to Wooster, 13-3. Titans softball also in action. They have a doubleheader today, currently up 9-7 over Wartburg. Runner on third and 1 out with Grace Wilkins at the dish for the green and white. Baseball was also in action yesterday, nearly capped off a historic comeback against North Park, but fell just short. They are on the road in the north side of Chicago against the Vikings today. And then Titan men's lacrosse will take Tucci Stadium at 2 o'clock when they battle Adrian, with a lot on the line for the Titan men's lacrosse team. We just heard from Brittany Maldonado reflecting on her career as a member of the Titan women's lacrosse program. She talked about when this team is able to play together and be a cohesive unit, they're able to work a lot better. And we saw that in a few different stretches throughout the first half. However, based on what the scoreboard indicates and looking at a lot of the statistical categories, it has been nearly all Wooster in the first half, and we wait to see how the Titans reply in half number 2. Wooster has scored first in each of the first 2 quarters. Scored 14 seconds into the first and 40 seconds into the second. So now we get to see if they'll put up an opening minute goal for the third straight stanza. Sophia Mellis for Wooster has been relatively silent after notching a hat trick within the first 3 minutes of the contest. Driscoll, Hardy, and Morris each with a brace for Wooster. Woodbury, Knoll, Pylon, and Snaguski with lamplighters for the visitors. No goalie change for the Titans. Ramirsik still in. With a 10-goal margin, it's a running clock unless Illinois Wesleyan shrinks it down to single digits. Shot saved by Ramirsik. She's got 10. Reapy into a swarm of white jerseys. To Shore back on the field after she got injured in the second quarter. On the doorstep, shot and a goal. Annalise DiGiovanni strikes first in the third.
Annalise DiGiovanni.
Her 6th of the year. So that stops the running clock. While we don't have a goalie change for Illinois Wesleyan, we do for Wooster. Brooke Benjamin, in just her 3rd game of the year, has only played 26 minutes so far. Goals against average of 2.31, a save percentage of 66. The sophomore out of Avondale, Pennsylvania. Mentioned this earlier, but Wooster in the front end of a back-to-back trip to Illinois. They'll take on Lake Forest. So I'm sure Coach Ford again trying to save the legs of some of her players. Now up 9. So this could be a prime opportunity for Illinois Wesleyan to force Coach Ford for Wooster to rethink her strategy over the last half. Pitch and catch, Benjamin. Snaguski. Null below the GLE. Spin dodge. 3 black jerseys converge. Means that somebody's open for Wooster. It was Null for a minute. But the Titans so far in the second half are doing a much better job at attacking the ball carrier. Shot upper 90 from Morris. That's a hat trick for her. Wooster back up 10.
Morris.
For Morris, that's her 5th game this year with at least a hat trick. And her first game with at least a hat trick since March the 8th. Last 3 contests, she's been fairly limited from a goal-scoring standpoint. Her first multi-goal game since the 12th of March when they took on Rockhurst in their lone loss of the year. So just as the running clock was eliminated, it's now back to running. On the interior, had an alley, was Mellis. Defers back out. It was only open for a split second, but she had the lower 90 available to her. Contact prior to the shot from McBride. And we'll see if this is a free position for Wooster. It's a peculiar whistle, considering the advantage that McBride had on that look. Usually they'll wait until after the shot is recorded, and makes sense considering that it's an infraction on Wooster. Because if it was on the defense, and generally speaking, if it's on the defense, they'll wait until the shot is fired to grant that free position if the offensive player is able to work through whatever the penalty was. With an alley shot off the post and down for Bella Woodbury.
By number 7, Bella Woodbury.
Her second. Scott's up 11. Like I mentioned earlier, in terms of what lies ahead for both of these teams, it's polar opposites. Wooster will have less than 24 hours off before they head up to the shores of Lake Michigan to take on Lake Forest tomorrow afternoon. As for Illinois Wesleyan, they are off until April 9th. So about a week and a half before they hit the road to Rock Island to take on Augustana for their first CCIW contest. So they'll definitely have the time to refocus, reset, and dissect this. Before, again, like I said, if you're able to get into conference and you're able to run the table shot wide, if you're able to run the table in your conference, especially being a Midwestern team, Ramirez stands tall. If you're able to do your job in conference, considering that the vast majority of the Midwest conferences, given the strength of the East Coast, are one-bid leagues, the non-con can boost your resume, but you can almost treat it as a true tune-up. Speaking of true tune-ups, looking across the way at Inspiration Field, the Titans softball team has put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th and lead 14-7 over Wartburg. So they're a half inning away from opening the IW invite with a win. And It's still the bottom of the sixth. The Titans with a chance to pile on even more. If they can convert here, they'll have a chance to run rule Wartburg if they're able to put up a couple of more on the board. They have a runner in scoring position. Reapy forced out. Free position shot for Illinois Wesleyan. Reapy from straight on. Drive, sails it up. Shot. Ramirez pins it off her foot. That's her 12th save of the day. Wooster now with 27 shots on goal, compared to 7 for Illinois Wesleyan. Total shots 32-11 in favor of the visitors. Turned over, breakaway, save by Ramirsik. We haven't seen many grade A opportunities today. You can't get much more grade A than that if you're Madeline Null. Now the Titans try to turn that stop into some offense. Fiandaka, Brittany Maldonado praised during halftime as being a huge contributor to why she was the leader in assists per game in the country. You can see it right there with Fiandaka's ability to create and finish. Deflected on the crosser. Jarred loose, should be Wooster possession. Indeed it is. Looking at the Wooster sideline, it looks like we might have another goalie change at the start of the fourth, as Taylor No starts to get loose for the Scots. So that's your perfect recipe if you're Elizabeth Ford. You're able to get all three of your goalies some in-game experience. While also keeping everybody fresh. McBride on the spin. Hardy kept out. 8 to shoot. On the drive, shot and a goal for Ashlyn Casey.
Goal by number 3, Ashlyn Casey.
Her first goal of the season. She's the 12th Scot to find the back of the net this year. Wooster up 16-4 as the rain starts to come down in Bloomington. Started off as a light drizzle, now turns into a little bit more of a downpour. Update from across the way, Titan softball 14-7 winners against Wartburg. .30 seconds left in the third. Shot and a goal for Gibson. That's a hat trick. And that'll likely do it for the third quarter with still a running clock.
Goal by number 3, Maddie Gibson.
So that winds down the third. We head to the fourth. Wooster up 16-5 on IWSports.com.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false? On average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois? If you guessed number 1, you got it! And what's even better, IWU is the number 1 college in Illinois for getting a job and number 7 in the nation.
Last question, how much does it cost to apply to Illinois Wesleyan? If you said nothing, well, you're right! There's absolutely no application fee. So what are you waiting for? Visit, apply, and see all the opportunities for success that await you at Illinois Wesleyan University.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
First career hat trick for Maddie Gibson. Slices the gap down to 16-5. Wooster ahead of Illinois Wesleyan as we start the fourth quarter. I'm Matt Sossler, first of 2 lacrosse contests at Tucci Stadium this afternoon as the rain starts to come down. The Titan men will take the field at 2 o'clock, a field that they haven't lost on in over 2 years. So that's always at stake every time they step on the field here at the 3:09. Goalie change for Wooster. Taylor No enters 2 games this year, 36 minutes and 11.5 goals against average. 36 save percentage for the freshman out of Canton, Ohio. Canton, Ohio, of course, known mostly for being the birthplace of the National Football League. Got the Hall of Fame there. About a half hour to 45 minutes outside of Cleveland. Shot steered away by Ramirsek. We'll have to see how much of a factor the rain is over the last 14 minutes of this contest. The good news about rain in Bloomington is that every single one of the facilities that is in use today, being softball, Tucci Stadium, and also, if this were to be a problem yesterday, Hornberger Field, all turf and all with impeccable irrigation to drain it. So in terms of it being slick, that is a factor. However, puddles or anything that would cause an extended delay would not be an issue. The only potential cause for a delay would be if there's a lightning strike within a certain radius of the field. The wind is blowing from left to right as you see it on your screen, and that's taking the rain angle with it. So depending on also what type of eyewear the players decide to wear, might fog up if they're not wearing cages, if they're wearing solid goggles. And they might have to take care of that a little more often than they would if it was a clear day. Sophie Short with a yellow card warrants a free position opportunity for Wooster. And at this stage in the game, you wouldn't expect to see a drive or anything like that. It's going to be more, how do you play the time and score game? Shot and a goal for Rowan Pylon.
Goal by number 20, Rowan Pylon.
Pylon's got 2 today. He's able to take advantage of the also slightest woman up opportunity. It's been all Wooster this afternoon. Scored 6 goals within the first 4.5 minutes, and they haven't looked back. They had 9-1 at the end of one, outscored the Titans 4-2 in the second. 3-2 has been our tightest quarter. 3 goals for Wooster, 2 for Illinois Wesleyan. And Wooster striking first here in the fourth. Newton took a tough hit from Morris. Fiendaka with plenty of room. Fountain right down Main Street, sails it north. On the doorstep, Fiendaka had it hit off the rim of her stick. Picked up by Gibson, who has 3, make it 4. A career day for Maddie Gibson. Brings the Titans back within 11. Checking the radar for the next hour or so. It's going to stay similar to this with the rain. However, based on what I'm seeing right now, it's not going to get worse, which is good news for Lacrosse, because they should be able to play in this for the remaining 9.5 minutes of regulation, and then for the men, starting in about 90 minutes. This weather should not be an issue. Both teams have played in much worse as Fiandaca snipes it wide. Fountain. Shot and a goal, upper 90. For Annalise DiGiovanni, her second of the day.
Annalise DiGiovanni.
It's the Titans with a couple unanswered. Trying to at least get some positives to take away from this. Heading into their long hiatus before they start CCIW play. Another draw control won by the Scots. Sydney O'Rourke, the Wayland, Massachusetts native. Draw controls today 17-10 in favor of Wooster. Sydney O'Rourke heads off. So a woman up opportunity for Illinois Wesleyan. Below the GLE, so they'll have to create. Crossfield pass. Through traffic. Fountain. Puts it through. We'll see if they give her credit for the goal. The whistle came a little early. Titan fans thought there should have been advantage, but instead Fountain gets a free position. Straight drive, Fountain forces it wide. So that's a slippery slope. Coach Kushina is showing some frustration on the Titans sideline. You think about it like an and one in basketball, a delayed penalty in hockey. If it's a defensive foul and the offensive player is in the act of shooting or has a chance for advantage, meaning that they still have possession of the ball and a chance to create an opportunity, that would warrant a delayed whistle pending the result of the initial shot. So in the case of that last play, it would have been a good goal for Fountain, and instead she comes up empty on the free position. And now Wooster with a chance to increase their lead. They do. Priya Naharia finds the back of the net, and we've traded goals here in the fourth.
Goal by number 26, Priya Naharia.
Got the lights on at Tucci Stadium and across the way at Inspiration Field. Sky not entirely dark, but still provide some extra illumination, make it a little easier to see. Wooster off the draw. Out shooting the Titans 31-10 for shots on goal. 37-17 total shots. On the doorstep, solid defense by the Titans. As Jacobs got into a little bit of trouble, they're able to force a turnover. Quick out from Ramirsak. That's another aspect that kind of goes by the wayside given an 11-goal margin. But Illinois Wesleyan has loved that 30 to 40-yard outlet pass. And given the rain and how it impacts the webbing on the stick and the slickness of the ball, and also the footing of the quote-unquote receiver, it makes that outlet, I don't want to say nearly impossible, but a lot harder to do. You're going to look at a lot of quicker passes, 5 to 10 yards from point to point, to try and methodically work your offense to the other side. On the doorstep, and a twine tickler for Pylon. That's a hat trick for her. She's the third Wooster player to notch 3. Until the Scots continue to build on their advantage. For Pylon, her second career hat trick, had 3 against Albright on March the 19th. The freshman out of Deep River, Connecticut. This is a Wooster squad that has a lot of geographic diversity. Brittany Maldonado talked about as time goes on, all the programs in the United States recruiting from not just the Midwest, but from the East Coast, West Coast as well. Starting to become a little bit more of a lacrosse hotbed, if you would, as everybody tries to play, I don't want to say catch up to the Northeast, but trying to get on par with some of those historic programs, your William Smiths of the world. Shot and a goal for Illinois Wesleyan.
Goal by number 17, Mia Fiandaka.
Fiandaka's second, so she has a brace along with DiGiovanni. And with 90 seconds left, Coach Kashina makes some substitutions. Ellie Keaton along with Carly Bayes enter. Bayes has a lot of potential, freshman midfielder. This Titan team has dealt with a lot of injuries, and Bayes has stepped up in a critical role for whoever may be out. Titans trailing by 11 with 55 seconds left, so safe to say if Wooster controls this, they'll just walk around and hang on. Indeed they do. On the flip side, you'd expect Illinois Wesleyan to send 3 or 4 to the ball. Try and cause any chaos whatsoever. However, if I'm Wooster, the one thing I would not do is shoot. Because you really don't need to at this point. You have a running clock. And honestly, with 17 seconds, you could run it the other way and tie a bow on this contest. A free position shot for Wooster through the legs of Ramirsak. And that'll put the finishing touches. Nuharia with a stat patter. So she finishes with 2, and Wooster with a quote-unquote buzzer beater. And they beat Illinois Wesleyan 20-8. Take a look at some final numbers before we wrap things up from Tucci Stadium. All Wooster today, scoring 6 goals in the first 5 minutes and not looking back. A look at some further numbers. Out shooting Illinois Wesleyan 39-18, 33-11 shots on goal. Ground balls, Wooster doubled up Illinois Wesleyan. Draw control's a little tighter, 19-11 in favor of Wooster. The Scots caused 14 turnovers compared to 8 for Illinois Wesleyan. Leading scorers for the Scots, 3 players with a hat trick: Pylon, Morris, and Mellis. Driscoll, Woodbury, Hardy, and Naharia with a brace. Casey, Knoll, and Snaguski with lamplighters for Illinois Wesleyan. Got to give a shout out to Maddie Gibson, a career day, 4 goals. That's a career high for the freshman on 6 shots. Annalise DiGiovanni, 2 goals. Mia Fiandaca with a pair as well. Carly Fountain with 2 helpers. Avery Setzler with an assist as well. Illinois Wesleyan has a bit of a hiatus. They'll be back at Tucci Stadium not until the middle of April. They'll resume their 2025 campaign in Rock Island against Augustana on April the 9th. As for Wooster, the Scots will head up to Lake Forest and try and ride what has been a strong start for them, sitting at 8-1 entering today, now 9-1. We'll take a quick timeout and resume our post-game coverage after this on iwsports.com.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them, with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
All right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade, from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Behind every Wesleyan success story is a community. One made of alumni and friends devoted to creating opportunities for the next generation of Titans. When you support the Wesleyan Fund, you make a difference. Join us in providing a first-class education, a rewarding campus experience, and a lifetime of opportunities. I'm Norm Esch, a graduate Illinois Wesleyan and the head football coach for the past 35 years. Join me in supporting the Wesleyan.
Back in Bloomington, Titans fall 20-8 to Wooster. I'm Matt Sossler. We'll be joined by Titan head coach Abby Kashina in just a moment. All Wooster in this one. Let's take a look at some other scores around Titan athletics. Softball, a winner over Wartburg in the first game of the IWU Invite. They are currently in a weather delay at Carol Willis Park at Inspiration Field before the first neutral site game between Wartburg and Lake Forest. We'll provide updates for those of you curious about that as soon as we figure out what the weather situation is over there. I took a look at the radar, and it looks like there's going to be similar showers to what's going on now. That's a light mist, maybe a little bit more. That's supposed to last until about the 2 o'clock hour. Then there's an hour or so of no precipitation, an hour of some heavier precipitation from 3 to 4, and then it's supposed to be clear skies from 4 throughout the rest of the day. So it should be a very exciting day of softball over at Carol Willis Park at Inspiration Field, and we still have one more on the docket at Tucci Stadium. The Titan men's lacrosse team meets Adrian for their final contest of the month of March. We'll preview that in just a few minutes as we wait for Coach Kashina to make her way up to the press box. Some other scores from around Titan Athletics. It's the spring season, so you always get a very busy slate, a ton of teams in action, a lot of big contests on this Saturday. You got track at Milliken and Illinois State. Mentioned the softball score against Wartburg. They are victorious. And then also baseball takes on North Park. That is a 1 o'clock start from the north side of Chicago. Men's volleyball visits Carthage for a 3 o'clock first serve. And depending on how you slice that, for the Titan men's volleyball team, you're not looking at necessarily wins, you're looking at sets based on how the CCIW tiebreakers can play out for the conference tournament. The Titans well within the race for the 4 spot in the CCIW tournament. And then softball will take on DePaul. That's originally scheduled for 4:45 this afternoon. However, given the weather delay that is holding up Lake Forest and Wartburg, I would not be shocked. It's still possible. I would not be shocked if that softball contest gets moved to later on in the evening or potentially tomorrow, depending on what the move is in terms of scheduling the rest of the day for softball. It's supposed to be Lake Forest and Wartburg up next over there, and then it'll be DePaul against Wartburg for the third game, and then Illinois Wesleyan against DePaul for the final game of the day. So we'll keep you updated in terms of what's going on over there. And taking a look ahead to tomorrow in Illinois Wesleyan athletics, another busy day here in the 309. Women's tennis in action against Loris. Softball takes on Lake Forest in a doubleheader. So it should be an exciting day in Bloomington. Coach Kushina joins us on the other side on IWSports.com.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program, double major, and play a sport. Do an internship and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
Post-game, following the Titans' 20-8 loss to Wooster, Matt Sossler alongside Illinois Wesleyan head coach Abby Kashina. Coach, obviously not the result that you wanted on the scoreboard, but a lot of positives to take away from this game. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's always, some good and some bad in the games. I think we got ourselves into a bit of an early hole in that first quarter. I do think we picked it up after that. We definitely had some good moments, especially in the second half. I think we just got to work on moving forward, coming out ready to go at the start of the game.
In between the pipes, Lizzie Ramirsek with a ton of big saves. Obviously not an easy day for a goalie facing 33 shots on net. Talk about her performance today.
Yeah, Lizzie, I think, is a goalie that that you can always count on. She's very quick, so she's really able to get some of those saves that, you might think are going to go in. She is good at kind of, I think, surprising people with the saves that she's able to make, so we're definitely lucky to have her in between the pipes back there.
And on the other side, a career day in the very young career of Maddie Gibson, 4 goals on the stat sheet, but doing a ton off the stat sheet as well. What are your thoughts on her day?
Yeah, I think Maddie had a great game. She's always working extremely hard in the ride, trying to redefend the ball. She works hard in the transition as well. And then obviously she's pretty small, but she's very quick on the attacking end. So she's able to kind of get herself in some different places. But yeah, really, really happy with her performance today.
You're able to bring back Brittany Maldonado, honoring her for her statistical championship and assists per game. What was it like having her back in the building? And she mentioned at halftime she was in the huddle. What's it like having her now back around the team, even if it was just for one day?
Yeah, it's great to have Britt back on campus. She was such a staple of our attack last year. She was a captain as well, so she really has that leadership voice. She is a person that kind of always knows the right thing to say to get the team, whether it's pumped up or more motivated or get their heads back in it. So definitely good to hear her voice in that pregame huddle again. Yeah, we miss her out on the field for sure.
You got a bit of a long layoff. Next game is on the 9th of April in Rock Island against Augustana. The non-conference slate is in the rearview mirror. What are your thoughts heading into conference play, and how do you plan on using the next week and change to get ready for a run at the CCIW championship?
Yeah, I think having a break, I think, is going to be good for the girls, for their physical health, and to just kind of give them a break to, not only get their bodies right, but their minds right before we start conference. And then definitely, once we get a little bit closer to April 9th, getting locked back in for conference, knowing that kind of this third, last third of the season is super important for us. So coming out every game, doing everything that we can to get that win.
Matt Sossler alongside Titan head coach Abby Kashina. Coach, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We wrap up the program when we come back on IWSports.com. Appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Wrapping things up in Bloomington, Titans fall to Wooster 20-8. Wooster took a 6-goal lead within the first 5 minutes and never looked back. For Illinois Wesleyan, Maddie Gibson with 4 goals. Wooster, 3 players with a hat trick. And as I talked about with Coach Kashina, the Titans have a little bit of a layoff. Their next contest, April the 9th. In Rock Island against Augustana. A busy day here on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan resumes with the Titan men's lacrosse team as they take on Adrian. Coverage will start just before 2 o'clock. And for our entire streaming crew, I'm Matt Sossler. We'll talk to you in just about an hour for the Titan men's game right here on IWSports.com.